Alex Pietrangelo does not shut the door on a return. He tells the media yesterday that he's rehabbing his hip injuries right now and not planning on surgery just yet. Why did Petro hold the presser to begin with? And what if he makes like a miraculous recovery and he's able to play either this season or next? Cap mayhem. We talk about it next right here on Locked On Golden Knight.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone from Las Vegas. Welcome. I'm Tony Cardasco along with Chris Golick. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. You could find us wherever you get your podcasts. I am a longtime sportscaster, a marketing consultant, and the host of the new Believe in Vegas podcast. And Chris is the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports and the host of the Hockey News Collectibles Show. Coming up ahead on today's show, we'll also be previewing VGK against the Kings, that game tonight, the exhibition home opener. Do you get a bust or what's the prize giveaway? And we'll discuss some cuts from camp this past week that's all ahead. And a reminder, you can now catch us each and every day, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. And again, that's SSSEN, and it's on YouTube TV and also Cox Cable Channel 125. So, Chris, I am really curious if Alex Pietrangelo held his press conference yesterday to more or less show the NHL that he's busily rehabbing so that he could be placed on LTIR.
Bingo.
Or does he really believe that he might be able to bypass hip surgeries and maybe return to the ice someday, either this season or next? Pietrangelo said yesterday he is not planning on surgery just yet, and he's continuing to rehab. So help me understand why there's a presser exclusively for Alex Pietrangelo. Who sets up this press conference? Did Pietrangelo ask to speak to the media?
No.
Or did Kelly McCrimmon ask him to have this media avail? I was very perplexed, as you can tell.
Yeah, and I was confused too watching it. I have the same questions you do. And for starters, definitely this was done with intent. It was done for a reason. And there's a process, I'm sure, to getting Pietrangelo on LTIR. And there's the PR side of everything. And I mean, Pietrangelo didn't just say it's September 22nd. Let's talk to the media today. I want to, see how these guys are doing. No, stop it. But definitely VGK is getting some boxes checked right now as far as they set things up. Pietrangelo is saying the right things, continues to rehab. Credit Ken from Sinbin for asking him directly, hey, what's up, basically. And continuing to rehab. Is this season off the table? We're continuing to rehab. So
right.
You definitely had a combination of the canned responses, while you definitely got a candid perspective about what life is like for Pietrangelo right now outside of being an everyday professional hockey player.
Yeah, and he's always been this family guy, right? Like we've always
no doubt
he's been that person. Does Petro have to periodically check in? Does he have to go to the facility to get paid? Could you imagine if he suddenly says, right, Chris, if he can return, he says, hey, he gets the doctor's clearance later on this season. What in the world would happen? It would send VGK and the salary cap into a complete tizzy.
No, and that it's the writing is on the wall that he is not returning.
You think he's done? You think he's still done even after that presser?
There's not a world that exists where the Golden Knights are going to get $7.5 million over the salary cap with an $8.8 million AAV defenseman in fog, not knowing what's happening. Like, just let's read between the lines here. You don't trade for Mitch Marner if Pietrangelo is not. I mean, okay, maybe there's a continuation plan. The Golden Knights would have to trade away $7 million at the end of before the trade deadline passes in March or whatever the exact date is this season with the Olympics and everything. There's no, and to farther back that up, now you have teams knowing that the Golden Knights would have to shed salary cap, so their return is going to be absolutely nothing on, let's say, a Zach Whitecloud and another $3.5 million piece or something like that.
And yesterday, Pietrangelo said his daily life now is much better. I don't think he was on crutches or need any assistance to get into the facility yesterday, but he said he's
been on the
taking
ice.
everything.
He said he was on the ice.
Yeah, he's taking everything day by day. That's what kind of leads you. He didn't leave that out of the equation. He did not leave a return out of the equation. That's what was so perplexing. I thought he was going to say, yeah, I just really can't go. He said he likes to be around the group, especially the younger players, because like Chris is to me, he says he's a good sounding board. You're my sound.
Good soundboard. I think he's
sounding board. I mean, yeah.
Listen, Pietrangelo, the player, is an absolute warrior. Pietrangelo, the human, is an absolute gem of a person.
He's a gem. He is. And a great family guy. I always like that about him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I told you, I've had conversations with him after we're done doing the interviews and stuff. Just, hey, how's
alcohol
the family?
Induced or
hockey? And,
not at the parties. Not at the parties.
Not at the parties. No, in the locker room.
Okay.
That was and stuff like that.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah.
So, he's definitely nothing bad to say. Now, the business side of this is where questions do exist as an outsider, and people question Matty Tkachuk last season, and people have questioned Mark Stone, and people have questioned Nikita Kucherov and Patrick Kane, and all these circumstances where LTIR is utilized for a team's benefits. Why wouldn't Pietrangelo just say, I'm retired? Well, there's contract issues and things that would possibly happen right there as far as versus someone on LTIR and things like that. I don't know all the specifics behind it. And the Golden Knights are going through the motions, whatever box they need to check, whatever term and condition that needs to be satisfied, they're getting it out there in a public space. So, they can reference at a later date. Yeah, listen, here's what Pietrangelo had to say about it. And we're not leaving it off the table, but, it's highly unlikely. So I get it. I'm not saying I necessarily liked the situation. I liked hearing Pietrangelo talk. I liked, it's been a while. We haven't heard from him since the last season ended. And you do miss his interaction. You do miss what he brings to this locker room. But in the same breath, I personally have more questions than answers after watching this press conference.
Exactly. That's what there's a lot of mystique there, kind of left things up in the air. And you have to realize, again, professional athletes and also not wanting to let go.
No.
Pietrangelo had said he's been around hockey since 7 years old, and it's tough being gone and away from your teammates. So I've talked to a lot of professional athletes, Jason Giambi for one, right? And I kept asking him, why do you keep playing? Well, $25 million a year isn't so bad. But he just said it's all about the camaraderie. He said it's about that camaraderie, and each and every day, it's a family, and he said, I can't really describe what it means to me. And then also we had Petro talking about Korczak. I thought he was there to take back his locker,
That was good.
Yeah,
that was
Korczak
good. That was a great moment.
And Hutton, he talked about those two players specifically. Korczak, he's all in on Korczak taking his spot there in the rotation defensively, but he credited both of those players, Korczak and Hutton, about their dedication. Even though they weren't playing, they prepared every day.
If Pietrangelo gives a vote of confidence to someone, I'll buy into that. It's not a rah-rah moment. It's a genuine, hey, these guys, they're going to be ready to go, and they're going to help this team. And if there's anyone that knows the position pretty well, it's Pietrangelo. So at the end of the day, more good than, I don't want to say bad, but more good came out of this on the human side of it. As far as the business side of it, that's where the league can do whatever they got to do to take this press conference, file it somewhere, and move on so Pietrangelo can properly be on LTIR and not count against the playoff salary cap, as he's not going to be an active player.
So before we go to break, who do you think set up this press conference?
Golden Knights. They did it for it's checking a box, Tony.
They're just checking the box.
They're checking a box.
For
no
the
NHL.
For the NHL, you think?
Yeah,
overall,
it's no
they're going to
different.
investigate LTIR and all that stuff, right?
Listen, on social media, the fans have not been knocking down comments. We want to hear from Petro. We want to hear from Petro. No, that's not the case.
That does not.
They're checking a box right now, and that's okay. This isn't a blast on the Golden Knights. It's simply there's a process, there's a procedure. Petro, go talk to the media. Anyone asks you about your health, I'm continuing your rehab is the company line.
Coming up next, we preview VGK and the Kings. They go into their matchup tonight at T-Mobile Arena. We'll talk about it next right here on Locked On Golden Knights. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure that you are ready for kickoff with each and every game, I should say, with a can't-miss offer. That's right. Right now, new customers, you can bet just $5, and if that bet wins, you'll receive $300 in bonus bets, and you can use it across the app. And I definitely love using FanDuel. Again, it fits in whatever way, whatever manner you want to bet. I was around a bartender. A bartender last night who was going back and forth and trying to hedge totals and sides and all that. It's so much fun, right? When you do that, the player props, same game parlays, and of course, in game, you could bet on that. By the way, on Sunday, the big battle between the Raiders and the Bears. Raiders -1 currently at FanDuel. The total on that game, 48. So every game's more exciting when you do this. So are you ready to play? You definitely have to download the FanDuel app today, and you can visit FanDuel.com to get things started. And FanDuel.com is the place to go to place your first $5 bet. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights from Las Vegas. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting. The hockey is back, as some might say. And this is my paying tribute to Keegan Colasar top line t-shirt, the Flying Burrito Brother. I hope he eats burritos. What's that?
Where'd you get that shirt?
I had to buy it somewhere. Of course, I told you I'm out of control online, but this is for Colasar, man. I want him again to eat the burrito in the post-game presser. That's legendary, right? Around here. I say more so than putting like a Fleury statue outside or a Jack Eichel or Mitch Marner. Have a statue of Keegan Colasar eating the burrito in the post-game avail. LA Kings come to town tonight. You like that? I like when Chris just shakes his head and dismisses everything. LA Kings coming to town tonight. It is a big game at the Fortress. Preseason game number 2. I think a lot of things will change from the first to the second game. Hopefully it's more exciting. LA had a veteran squad on the ice for its opener. It was a 3-1 win over Anaheim. Alex Turcotte, Alex Laferriere, and those two players scored goals. They also added an empty netter. 3-1 was the final, but they played the veteran lineup. Do we see more vets for VGK in this game tonight? How does this shake out?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see the home games have more vets. I'm forecasting Thursday and a half for Marner's debut. We'll see if that happens.
You think he'll just play half of the game?
Yeah, exactly. Over under. I wouldn't be surprised to see Carlson and or Hurdle's line today. Their current training camp
Carlson's got a new haircut.
I saw that. Yeah, that's. I think Carlson with longer hair greater than Carlson with shorter hair, but I'll let other people be the
more
judge
than. Yeah, that's.
Would be surprised to see White Cloud and Hannafin out there tonight as well. And as far as in the net, I wouldn't be surprised if Schmid got a shot tonight and he split the game with maybe Lindbaum or something like that. So
I agree with you there.
We'll see how that all shakes out, but you'll definitely see.
I think it's Akira Schmid and probably Cameron Whitehead.
That sounds reasonable. And it's our first taste of Fortress hockey. It's a little stripped down version as far as pregame intro and some of the in-game fun, but it's still a cool experience. And if you never experienced the Golden Knights game, I'm assuming I still got to list my tickets. I can't make it. I got to coach soccer tonight, but I'm assuming you can probably get in for $20-25 to get a reasonable ticket in the upper bowl. So shouldn't be that difficult.
There's so much sports here in Las Vegas tonight. So we do have the Golden Knights Kings preseason at 7:00 tonight. Aviators against Tacoma, game 1 of the league championship series in the Pacific Coast League. That's at 7. 6:30 Aces versus Fever, game 2.
That's like a must-win for the Aces, right?
Well, they're down one game, 0-1. So the series will be shifting back to Indiana. And you always wonder if a team, right, if they're content, they steal the first game. If they're content and then they just, we'll just go through the motions and then take it from there when we go back home. They could close out the best of 5 at home.
Aces might be a real nice bet right now.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting, right? Also interesting, it's an interesting time in Los Angeles. Andrei Kopitar, he announced his retirement last week, and Adrian Kempe is hoping to sign his extension. They're saying by the start of the season. I think he's part of that domino effect, if you will, with everyone signing, including Eichel on down. And LA has just $2.6 million currently left in cap space, but Kopitar's salary is $7 million. That comes off the books in time for next season for the extension for Kempe. Kempe was making about $5.5 million, so probably at least $8 to $9 million AAV. You would have to guess. Led the team in scoring the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, just go back to Kopitar for a second. Kopitar has always been my favorite active NHL player. I don't know why necessarily. I think it's just about calm demeanor on the ice. Great leader. You see the locker room clips from him and obviously what he does on the ice. And I mean, 1,454 NHL games played. I'll say that again, 1,454, 440 goals, 838 apples. He's played 103 postseason games. See if he can take that into the 110s after the Oilers knock him out in the first round of the playoffs. But 27 playoff goals, 62 playoff assists. So right around the same points per game, maybe even a little stronger in the playoffs. And I mean, I could spend an entire show talking about Kopitar's influence on the Kings, Los Angeles hockey, and the NHL, and just a lot of fun to watch. And, I hate to see him leave, but in the same breath, he's been at this since the 06-07 season, 38 years old. Just turned 38. So I don't know, he should have a couple more years left. But
did he leave the door open to come back? Maybe too, like Petro. So Corey Perry out of the lineup. He's out 6 to 8 weeks with a knee injury that he sustained in practice back on September 12th.
It was a captain skate. I think it was practice captain skate.
Wow. Okay, so Jeff Mallett takes his spot. And then the Kings will be entering this season. I found this real interesting, and this is another reason why I feel the Kings could make a nice little push here this season. You say no, but they enter the season with the same top 9 that they finished.
I didn't say no. I said the Oilers are going to knock them out when they get to the playoffs. That's all I said.
Okay, again, I've got such fatigue for that series. Change that up, switch it somehow, change the format 1 through 8, whatever. But yeah, they've got consistency, which is good.
Yeah, they got consistency. They make it to the first round and get out every year.
That's consistent.
That's consistent. It's consistent.
Okay, so have the Golden Knights in that short time span, the quick turnaround here, have they practiced special teams? Do you think that Bruce has put any emphasis on special teams? And when he practices something, the players listen. It is incredible the job that he does there. I can't state that enough, because every time he says, well, we worked on this, they go out, they execute it, and that's how they win games. It's unbelievable, right? But will they be showing off there? Kolesar. You say Kolesar?
When Kolesar, Hutton, and Howden are first over the boards on a power play unit and the power play doesn't perform spectacularly well, I don't think that's cause for concern. We got a comment on our Twitter feed, actually, someone asking if on our DMs, like asking if
were they asking if you're on my sounding board?
Yeah, they were asking about if they should work on it before the next game. I'm like, don't put any stock in what you just watched. Just enjoy the preseason game. So again, same deal tonight. You might have one member of the Golden Knights top power play unit on the ice tonight. If the power play clicks, fine. If it doesn't, whatever. But really wait till either Thursdays or I think next Wednesdays. Those are like going to be probably the home dress rehearsal games for the regular season. That's when you take some stock into what you're watching on the ice. Right now, just they're going through the motions. Coach Cassidy's still evaluating players. Who's the first call up if XYZ goes down, so on and so forth. And some of the vets just get a little game action to get their feet back under them.
I'm curious to see. This should be much better than the first game. And of course, the Golden Knights want to put on a show at home. Again, they're still trying to sell some tickets and what have you. They're already sold. Okay. The biggest questions, will the Kings try to muck it up tonight? And are the Golden Knights and the Kings going to do one of those 15-round shootout practices at the end for the fans? Do you remember, what was that, 2 years ago when they did that? And it's just like, please end this game. Like, get it over with. It was awful. That was awful. The worst thing you could do is practice your shootouts in a preseason game. Someone did that the other day, right? I think there was a team that practiced the other day. Coming up next, we've got the first round of cuts. They are in the book. We'll tell you who they were coming up next right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Most people cannot name all of their financial accounts and what they even have and what they're worth, whether it's 401ks or properties or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving a lot of cabbage on the table. You can leave a lot of money on the table. And that's why Monarch Money, it's an all-in-one personal financial tool. It helps bring your finances all together, and it's really simple and easy. It's all in one clean, easy to use interface, because we absolutely despise spreadsheets on this show. And you could find it on your laptop or even on your phone. And again, Monarch is something that's built for people with busy lives like myself and Chris Golick. And you can link all the accounts in just minutes. You can see clear visuals of your data. You can get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of all your money without ever touching a stinking spreadsheet, which we really like. So don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL today at monarchmoney.com and do it in your browser. You'll get half off of your first year. That's 50% off of your first year at monarchmoney.com. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting. I'll be at the Aces game tonight, and I'll be watching the VGK game and checking in on the baseball score here in town. My goodness. There was a time here where there were actually no sports, and some people asked me, so what did you do like when there were no sports here? Watch sports on TV, right? You couldn't touch them at all. And of course, we had UNLV and the Running Rebels back in the day and all that. But this is out of control in a good way, in a really good way. So VGK had its first round of cuts, and among those assigned to their respective teams, man, I got to tell you, the rookie camp standouts, Matteo Nobert, he had a couple of goals and an assist, I think, in the rookie faceoff. Mazden Leslie, he was cut, had 3 assists for the Rooks in 2 rookie games. Alex Weirmeyer, the 2025 University of Denver standout. Brandon Ride, who I really like. He's the guy that dropped his gloves against the Avs, Max Curran, I should say. And those guys are cut. And then, of course, our good friend Jordan Paperny, he is cut down to 5 goaltenders. Pateris Bullens, Carter Sutherland, and Andreas Straka were also cut in the first round. So this is the first round of cuts, right, Chris? So when do we see more cuts? Is that after tonight's game?
Yeah, probably tomorrow morning there'll be another lap, or Thursday morning, something like that. And I'm glad you had a good couple of minutes there of a lead in there, because all I had were the names of the people that were cut. Andre Straka, I looked up that individual from the QMJL, going back to the Quebec Ramparts, 9 goals, 25 assists for a left winger. So nice. To the Q, going back to the Q.
I got to get that shirt.
Of course, you mentioned Rampart, great old video game, by the way. If you ever played Rampart, great video game with the trackball and launching the cannons at the force and everything. That was a great game.
Yeah, my sounding board for video games too.
Jordan Paperny, obviously.
Man,
there's not enough good things to say about Paps. Always enjoy interacting with him.
At this point, they don't get the look, do they? I mean,
I sent him
evaluate him
after he got his deal with the Silver Knights. I sent him a text that, hey, congrats, have some bubbly. And when I say bubbly, like, I don't mean bubbly champagne. Like, there's that soft drink. It's like a carbonated flavored water. It's called bubbly. It's really inexpensive. And I remember on our show, we actually interviewed him, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was.
Jeez, it's been a minute. Yeah.
And he talked about it, and he's still like, he sent me a picture. He had one in his hand when I texted him at that moment and all that. So he's great. He's good dude to interact with, and, look forward to seeing him in the American League.
Yeah, players do not get a chance anymore at this level.
There's a bit of a line with the goalies right now. There's always a line.
So, again, perhaps more cuts after tonight. down to 56 players now currently, if my math is correct. And
Yeah,
so,
I don't know if it's like
yeah,
the NFL where they have to get to certain levels by certain dates. I know the NFL has a lot of checkpoints throughout the year, throughout the preseason. I don't know if it's the same with the NHL or not.
can you tell me, maybe you know, but what is up with the broadcast crew and some media members? And they get to be trendy. Somebody mentions a name. Oh, we like this guy. And then everyone just kind of chimes in. And the name, the name of the buzz currently is Braden Bowman. And like everyone's like all over Braden Bowman. Oh, let's interview him. Why? I don't. I'm not quite sure what the attraction is to that one specific player. Although, of course, I am the president of the Jackson Hallam fan club
You ditched out on Joe Fleming?
and the president of Joe Fleming. Well, we knew that. We knew that
I
already
mean,
coming in.
Braden Bowman, first of all, a nice story, undrafted free agent. OHL with the Guelph Storm. I hope I said that properly. And then obviously with the Silver Knights in his first full American League season, 36 points, 14 goals, -5 on a bad Silver Knights team, for lack of better terms. So, there's a good storyline right there. Bowman skated pretty well. He was one of the players I think I talked about yesterday as far as just watching him being hard on pucks and things like that.
You like him too? Oh, you're part of the club. Oh, geez.
No, you brought it up. I honestly probably wouldn't even thought about him at all today if it wasn't for this moment. So, it's the human interest stories, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. And then just one final note: we saw Peter Baugh tweeting out the other day from Rangers camp. Brendan Brisson said he was not surprised when he was traded to the Rangers from VGK. Said it's kind of evident, I guess. Vegas first round picks. ... Any first rounder pretty much is sunk here in Vegas.
Yeah, but I mean, geez, what was the pick? Oh, it was the Riley Smith deal. Okay, fair enough.
Yes, it was the Riley Smith.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Brendan Brisson, we got back an aging journeyman for you, so it's not exactly like the farm came back and it returned Brisson. So pump the brakes a little, bro.
And one other thing, over the weekend, I know that this was one of those key moments of camp. They allowed our guy Pavel Dorofeev finally to be interviewed, and he's well spoken. His English has gotten really good.
Well spoken.
Yeah, they should do more of that. Is what we're getting at. We definitely.
I'm the president of the Pavel Dorofeev fan club
of his interview
for 4
club,
years.
and you're my sounding board, and he is Chris Golick, and I am Tony Cardasco, and we appreciate everyone tuning in. Don't forget, you could catch us daily now at 1:00 in the afternoon Vegas time on SSSEN. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll have a recap of VGK and the Kings. And take care, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights.